y'all, today I'm doing a book review on Ties That Tether by Jane Agaro. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Books with Kimberly. Don't forget to like, comment, share my channel, and subscribe. Today I'm so excited because this is a viewer's pick video where I choose a book from one of the recommendations given by my viewers and I read it and I give my review on it. And today's selection is from a very special viewer who is my aunt. So shout out to my aunt for recommending that I read Ties That Tether by Jane Agaro. So let's get right into my review. Ties That Tether is about Azare, who is a Nigerian-Canadian young woman. She's in her late 20s. The book starts off where she's on a date which her mother set up. Her mother has this huge goal of marrying her off to not only a Nigerian man, but he has to be of the same tribe as her family, which is Edo. So a little backstory. Azare was born in Nigeria, but when her father took sick and passed away, her mother, and her sister moved to Canada to live in Toronto with her uncle and cousin. And so we fast forward to present day. She's on a date with a Nigerian man who her mother has high hopes of marrying her off to. The date goes sour. Azare leaves the restaurant that is in a hotel and goes down to the hotel bar. At the hotel bar, she sparks up conversation with a man named Raphael, who is white, y'all. The two of them hit it off, share some drinks, end up talking the night away, and Azare decides to follow Raphael up to his hotel room where the two of them have a one-night stand. Sis wakes up in the morning and walks out, and she's like, you know what? That was some fun I had. I'm going to put that behind me. Fast forward a month later, Raphael is the new HR director at her job. And not only does he work at her job, but his office is directly across from hers. The two of them have to work on a project together. But Azare makes it very, very clear that she wants the two of them to act as if their night together did not happen. So Azare's father dies when she was at the age of 12, and his last words to her were to not marry a man who is not Nigerian. And so she has held firm to that. Her mother has been sending her out on dates with good Edo Nigerian men. And so she has had this idea in her mind that she can only date Nigerian men, only marry a Nigerian man, so that her culture and her traditions will live on in her family. Even growing up, it was very tough for her living in Canada because she didn't want to take on the Canadian culture. Even though she did have the code switch, she still had to juggle out how to be Nigerian but also live in this Canadian culture. I love the flashbacks of her being a child and having to change the lunches she bring from traditional Nigerian food to bringing foods that kids wouldn't tease her about, or changing the way she dressed from Nigerian garb to, jeans and American t-shirts. She had to change a lot about herself. And so it's very important for her to marry a Nigerian man so she doesn't have to lose any more of her culture. The problem comes when Raphael enters the picture because she starts to have real feelings for him, and things also get real complicated. Spoiler alert, you guys. In order for me to further go into details of this book, I have to spoil certain things. And one of the biggest spoilers I'm about to give you is that one night stand ended up in Azare being pregnant, y'all. Sis is pregnant, and immediately when she thinks that she's pregnant, I'm hoping she's not, because her mother has made it clear that if she does not marry a Nigerian man, she will disown her. Fast forward to when her mother finds out, her mother absolutely gives her the silent treatment. She tells her daughter that in order for her to continue being her mother, she has to raise this child with Elijah, who is a Nigerian man who Azare actually dated in the past. So her options are to date this Nigerian man, Elijah, and raise the baby as his, or if she raises the child with the father, Raphael, her mother will disown her. Y'all, that is a tough decision to make. She ends up choosing a future with Raphael, and because of it, her mother does disown her, gives her the silent treatment, won't answer her phone calls. So it's very hard for her to go through her first pregnancy, picking out clothes, having a baby shower, and not having her mother there. So let's talk about some of the things I really loved about this book. I absolutely love that this was an interracial romance book, but that it really talked about the issues that can come when you're dating interracially. I read a lot of these romance novels that are interracial. I really haven't read one where race was an issue. It's kind of like, okay, he's white, she's a black woman, but they love each other and it's just no issue. And I love this, love is love. I do get that. But there's always those culture differences that are left out of these books. And I love that the author Jane puts it in this book, and not only is it an issue, but it is really the plot of the book. So it was so interesting reading about this. Another thing I love is just the romance between Raphael and Azare. I was rooting for them the whole time because I felt those sparks. I felt they were a beautiful couple. I even liked that they worked together. Like the scenes where they were working on a project together, I thought were so cute, and I loved them as a couple. Overall, I'm giving this book 4 stars. What keeps me from giving it 5 stars is because I wanted more of this romance. Because Azare chose Raphael and her mother disowned her, during this dating phase of two of them, a lot of those beautiful moments were stormed on because her mother disapproved. And so I would have really loved to see what their romance would look like if her mother and the disapproval and this whole he's Spanish, I'm Nigerian, if that wasn't hanging over their head, what would their relationship look like? We got a few dates, but we didn't get a lot of those dates. We didn't get a lot of those times that they spent together. A lot of the months sped by. They jumped from 3 months to her being 8 months pregnant, and we didn't get to really see them build a relationship, build a foundation. We kind of got to hear her give an overall review of what was going on, and then kind of talk about some of those cultural differences and her battling with, did she do the right thing by choosing him over her mother? Y'all, this was a really good book. Again, shout out to my aunt for recommending that I read it. If you have any book recommendations for me, get down in those comments and let me know what they are. And you guys, thank you again for tuning in to another Books with Kimberly video.